Hello and welcome to another episode of The Art of Kicking Ass Elegantly. I'm your host, Michelle Hext. This week I'm going to be talking to you about how to get unstuck. If you're anything like me, there are times in your working life, and it can sometimes even spill over into your personal life, where you feel stuck, where it just feels like you're forcing yourself to do things, you're not in flow, which is where we always want to be. I don't know about you, but I always want to stay in that beautiful place of flow where it feels like everything I'm doing is being done effortlessly, as though I'm being carried along because I'm on purpose and everything's in alignment. Love that place, wish I could stay there the whole time, but from time to time we step out of that place. Sometimes it can be because we've been under a certain amount of stress, or things haven't gone right in our business, or outside influences, but sometimes we just get feeling stuck. And I had that feeling just a couple of weeks ago, and it was driving me crazy. And I caught up with a girlfriend of mine and one Friday afternoon, and we had a couple of drinks and sort of kicked back and relaxed, and sort of saying to her, everything's great, everything's great in my life, everything's going really, really well, but I'm feeling really stuck. And she said, well, what is it? And I said, I don't even know what it is, I'm just feeling stuck. And so I tried all the usual things, I tried journaling, I tried, affirmations, I tried, going for long walks and trying to shake whatever it was when I was doing that, all the things that usually work for me, and just couldn't shake this stuck feeling. It's almost like that there's projects that I'm wanting to start and I just couldn't make myself start. And I think, that comes from, projects in the past where if I'm going to launch something, or if I'm going to create something, I tend to just go all or nothing. And it's a typical story that, entrepreneurials have to tell when they're in production mode. It's like, you get up in the morning with your pajamas on and it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you realise you haven't even had a shower yet and you've hardly eaten anything. And you can do that for weeks at a time if you're not careful. And so I think, when I know that I'm about to start, producing something, I know that takes me to that place, and I guess there was some resistance around that. And so I did 2 things that got me unstuck, and they work for me, and I just forgot about it, and I know they'll work for you. The first thing was I went to see my kinesiologist. And, this works for me, and I don't really have to tell her too much other than to say, there have been times where I felt like I've been in crisis, and then the crisis has passed, but it's still living in my body, and I can still feel the tension in my body, and I needed to shift that. And for this time it was, I'm just feeling stuck. Something feels stuck. I'm not in flow, and I can't work out what it is. And so I did a session with her, and, 2 days later woke up feeling light, unstuck, all the rest of it. And in the meantime, the other thing that I did was I went and drove an hour and 15 minutes to where I used to live, near the beach, and luckily the sun was out, and I went for a big long walk along the beach listening to podcasts. I never do that. When I'm running or training, I'm not listening to podcasts. I'm not one of those people. In my car, I like to sing, so I don't even listen to them then. So what I did was I loaded up all these podcasts by a lady that's very inspirational, and went along the beach, because I knew, left alone with my thoughts, they were going where I didn't want them to go. So I knew I needed a distraction from that. And so what I did was I walked along the beach. It was a beautiful sunny day. It was cold though, but I took my shoes off and I walked along in the water and had this podcast playing, and that just shift whatever, that was helping shift it. So combine the 2 things, I just felt like the heaviness had lifted, the stuck feeling had lifted. And I think part of the day where I went to the beach was I took a day off. I didn't get on social media. I didn't tell anybody I was going. I just went, and I finished my walk, and I went and had lunch by myself at a beautiful little cafe and had this awesome salad. And I know that doesn't sound exciting for most people, but for me it was a very lovely salad. It was warmed pumpkin and chicken. It was lovely. Anyway, so sat and had lunch and just kind of tied a bow on it and felt like, you know, I'm ready to jump back in. And so I've been feeling amazing ever since. I've been feeling inspired, I've got my energy's back and all that sort of stuff. So if you're feeling stuck, highly, highly recommend kinesiologist. The other thing that I did as well, that I always forget to do but works beautifully, is gratitude. I don't keep a gratitude journal every day, but when I'm feeling like this, if I just do a brain dump of all the stuff I'm grateful for. And for me, you know, that's not just about, you know, the beautiful home I live in or the car that I drive or, you know, any of that stuff. I always come back to thinking, wow, you know, for a kid who left school at 14 and had no prospects whatsoever, did not do all that well in school, you know, I'm so thankful for the mind that I have. I'm so thankful that even though I was not academically educated, I've got so many other smarts going on and there's so much resilience there, and that I'm a creator. You know, I can create amazing things off one single thought. And when I start to think those thoughts and think, well, and look what that got me, you know, look what I've been able to do with that, and that sort of steamrolls and gets me excited about possibility again. Anyway, I hope that helps you in some way. So go for a walk on the beach, or if you prefer the mountains or the hills or whatever, go there with a podcast that's going to inspire you and get you thinking in the right way. Check in with a kinesiologist if you haven't been. If you haven't been, it can feel a little bit weird, but honestly it works, and it's not just worked for me. I've recommended it to a lot of people and it works for them too. And the last thing is gratitude. Do a big, you know, gratitude dump, and just see how you go staying stuck after that. Good luck with it. Bye.